I just think people are running from issues, and I don't think in this business you're supposed to run from issues. And the fact that everybody's running from the big elephant in the room involving the WNBA and the latest with Coach StephanieWhite of the Indiana Fever going on a little tirade during a post-game press conference because people were accusing her of not supporting her player after Sophie Cunningham was essentially, knocked upside the damn head by Dejanay Carrington.
StephanieWhite's emotional press conference has sparked a massive backlash, with fans questioning her decisions and even calling for her firing. What happens when a head coach appears to clash with her own fan base? And what happens when a professional sports organization seems completely disconnected from the frustration unfolding around its team? The Indiana Fever now find themselves at the center of an escalating controversy, with StephanieWhite facing intense criticism from fans and basketball commentators. This is no longer simply about wins and losses. The situation has become a major conversation about coaching decisions, player protection, public relations, and the growing disconnect between the Fever organization and its fan base. White's emotional comments and controversial handling of a heated incident have only added fuel to the fire. To understand why the backlash has become so intense, we have to go back to the incident that started it all. During a highly physical matchup between the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky, Dejanay Carrington was ejected following a flagrant foul involving Sophie Cunningham. The play immediately triggered heated reactions from fans. Many supporters expected Fever head coach StephanieWhite to strongly defend her player and make it clear that protecting her roster was a priority. Instead, White's comments about the play sparked even more debate, especially because she had previously coached Carrington in Connecticut. That decision left many Fever fans asking one simple question: whose side is the coach really on? And as the controversy continues to grow, the pressure on StephanieWhite appears to be reaching a boiling point.
Blitz today. And I knew she would. As soon as that came out of her mouth, I was like, oh, she's going to get destroyed. She thinks whatever backlash she's been seeing was an issue. She hadn't seen nothing yet. You're telling your paying customer to go to hell. And you can't try to backtrack this now. That's exactly what you did. You see, this team gets too, I've said this before, this team gets too much attention for her. Plain and simple. That's why I've said before you needed an NBA coach. Somebody that can handle all the scrutiny that's going to come with being the coach of Caitlin Clark. That it is what it is. Every little thing is going to get broken down.
Let that sink in for a moment. Fans believed StephanieWhite had failed to fully support her own player after the controversial foul involving Sophie Cunningham. The reaction online was immediate, and the backlash quickly intensified. As criticism grew, White appeared to clarify her earlier comments, explaining that she had not seen the play clearly in real time and did not have the benefit of repeatedly watching the replay before giving her initial reaction. But for many fans, that explanation came too late. The damage to their trust had already been done. Instead of calming the situation, White's next comments pushed the controversy even further. During a fiery press conference, she addressed what she described as the hate, fear-mongering, and divisiveness surrounding the team. White strongly defended her position and pushed back against those criticizing her handling of the Sophie Cunningham situation. Her emotional delivery quickly became another viral talking point. She appeared visibly frustrated, repeatedly emphasized her position, and declined to take questions from reporters. Then came the comment that sent social media into overdrive. White said that while she would continue to lead with love, grace, and humility, her critics could go to hell. That statement immediately triggered another wave of criticism, with some fans arguing that a head coach should avoid escalating tensions with the very supporters who invest their time and money into the franchise. And that is where this controversy gets even bigger. The WNBA is experiencing enormous attention, growing media interest, and an increasingly passionate fan base. So when one of the league's most heavily scrutinized teams becomes embroiled in a public dispute with its own supporters, every word matters. For critics of StephanieWhite, this was no longer just about one foul or one press conference. They saw it as a larger question of leadership, communication, and accountability, and now the pressure on the Fever organization is only getting louder.
Confidence about the coach in men's sports, that coach usually ends up getting his ass fired. Stephanie White could be on her way out. The fans appear to be done with her. We got to get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit the bell notification, hype the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. Let's get right into things, man. We have to start right here. Okay, here it says, Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White was booed by fans prior to a game following backlash over her comments defending Chicago Sky guard Dejanay Carrington after her flagrant 2 foul on Fever guard Sophie Cunningham. Now, we all saw what she had to say, and then she went on this whole tirade before the game, basically telling everybody to F off, go to hell. As a direct quote, she told everybody to go to hell, and the fans booed the hell out of her before the game. You told everybody to go to hell, and the fans booed the hell out of you before the game started. This is courtesy of Alexa Philippou. Statement from Indiana Fever team president. The damn team president had to step in.
Then came the moment when the backlash over White's comments appeared to catch up with her. White shifted toward a more emotional message, emphasizing that she is only human and insisting that love will ultimately win. She also tried to project unity, saying the team remained connected and would not allow outside criticism to divide them. But that emotional turn did little to quiet the criticism. Some fans viewed the display as an attempt to regain public sympathy rather than address the controversy directly. Instead of wanting an emotional response, they were demanding accountability and clearer leadership. The reaction quickly moved from social media to the arena. During the Fever's matchup against the New York Liberty, sections of the crowd reportedly booed Stephanie White, creating an uncomfortable atmosphere around the coach. Online, the debate became even more intense, with fans calling for changes and questioning whether White still had their confidence. The controversy eventually reached the political arena as well, adding another layer of pressure to an already tense situation. What began as criticism over one controversial basketball incident had grown into a much larger debate about coaching, leadership, and the direction of the Indiana Fever. At that point, many expected Fever leadership to step in and make a major change. But instead, the organization appeared to stand behind its head coach. Team president Kelly Krauskopf publicly supported White, praising her work in keeping the team focused and united while facing intense scrutiny. Leadership made it clear that, despite the growing criticism, Stephanie White continued to have the organization's support.
Only be asking, we would be demanding that folks speak up and put it where the goats can get it and get down to the bare bones about what's really going on here and not dancing around the issues. And what disgusts me, listening to so many of these ladies talk about the issues, you're smart, you're articulate, you're educated, you got facts, you got fervor and passion, you've got knowledge, you've got history backing you up. You got a whole bunch of things in your favor, along with the microphone and the lens to look into the camera and address it with the realness, the sincerity, and the passion and the fervor it deserves. And y'all dancing. There's one person I'm gonna give credit for not dancing, and that's somebody I brought up earlier. That's Andrea Carter, my colleague at ESPN, who is sensational. Listen to what she had to say last night.
In reality, all of this emotion is coming from Steph White and what she said post-game about Dejanay, which she said it was a flagrant 2 foul, but she didn't think Dejanay was purposely going for her neck, and that Dejanay is a player that plays hard. That's essentially what Steph White said, and people were going crazy, calling for her job because of that post-game statement. And, you know, I'm so interested in all those people that were piling on and calling for Steph White's job in this most recent week. How many Indiana Fever games have you actually watched? How many games have you actually paid attention to watch the team and what they're doing out on the court? Are you calling for Steph White's job because of who she is as a coach, or are you calling for her job because you watched one clip and you're piling on and you're fueled by hatred and you're finding a space to exercise something that's not related to basketball at all? And that's where we are right now in the W, and that's why it's so frustrating. You can't just talk about basketball, and I look forward to the day, like Steph White said, when this is a space where basketball fans come to pick apart the game and the performances and come to celebrate the talent that we have, and where people are judged based on their basketball thoughts and what happens on the court, and their character is not associated with those things. And we're just not at that place right now.
Hot piece and butter. Hot piece and butter. You remember that game? Or should I say hot piece of butter rather than hot piece of butter? Red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. You're getting closer and closer and closer because that's where Andrea Carter was going. She's getting warm. She's getting warm.
This organizational decision could be one of the biggest developments in the entire controversy. Instead of reacting to the growing anger from sections of the fan base, the Indiana Fever front office chose to publicly stand behind Stephanie White. That decision sends a clear message: leadership believes keeping the coaching staff stable is more important than immediately responding to the public backlash. But it also creates a growing divide between the organization and some of its most passionate supporters. For frustrated fans, the question is simple: will the Fever eventually listen to the criticism, or will they continue backing their coach despite the pressure? And then Caitlin Clark found herself in the middle of the situation. As one of the biggest stars on the roster, Clark was placed in an uncomfortable position as tensions continued to build. She revealed that she had spoken privately with Stephanie White, offering perspective and reminding people that coaches are human, too. Rather than adding fuel to the controversy, Clark appeared to take a more measured approach, trying to calm the situation and keep the focus on the team.
There's no logic in this league. Christine Brennan's on the money. I think you have a way out with this. I'm in agreement with Dre. I think this is the way out. But I don't think they'll do it because all we've watched this league do is get in its own way at every single turn. And at this point, I'm past looking for them to do the smart thing, the logical thing, what's best for business. I'm done looking for them to actually legitimize this league and not make it a pure clown show. I mean, Jason, we just had Sydney Colson, former Indiana Fever, talking about how they need to just go ahead and start their own black and queer league. I mean, what are we even talking about? It's a circus, man. They have no clue what they're doing. This thing is full of emotion and no logic, and that is the problem.
So, Maurice, and be quick but don't hurry here, because Steve, I got a question for you that I want to get to, and then I want to transition into a little Pat McAfee. But this rally last night and this blowout victory of the New York Liberty, and I thought the New York Liberty played poorly, seemed to be undermanned, but I'm sure Stephanie White and Kelly Krauskopf and Amber Cox, they're all sitting around. They're all rallying around Stephanie, and this is going to be great, and we're going to make a playoff run, and don't you see how together this has galvanized the team? Do you think it has? Do you think this is going to lead to a run into the WNBA finals?
No, I think if they make a run, it's going to be because Kelsey Mitchell can't miss a shot. She's the most efficient scoring guard in the league. Caitlin Clark is third in the league in scoring and first in the league in assists. If they make a run, it's going to be because of that explosive backcourt. It has nothing to do with galvanizing around Stephanie White. Kelsey Mitchell has a max contract. She's going to be looking to secure an off-season, a long-term deal. And obviously there's a lot for Caitlin Clark to prove. Sophie Cunningham's going to be looking to get paid once again. Their play last night was more about the fact that the New York Liberty, for whatever reason, they got rid of all their athleticism. They couldn't guard on the perimeter at all. And Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell couldn't miss a shot. This was not about Stephanie White.
Steve, I got one more WNBA type question before we transition. I want to play you this clip of Ryan Clark. And on the pivot, he's chiming in on the WNBA, and he's chiming in on Enes Kanter and Royce White, making the point, I think, that we...
But can a few supportive words from a star player really erase the damage caused by a coach publicly clashing with her critics? The Indiana Fever now face a difficult challenge. When a head coach becomes the center of intense criticism and sections of the home crowd turn against her, the organization has to find a way to rebuild trust while keeping the team focused on basketball. The tension is clearly reaching a boiling point, and the longer the controversy continues, the more pressure falls on both Stephanie White and the Fever front office. So what happens next? Will the organization continue standing firmly behind White, or will the growing pressure eventually force leadership to reconsider? What do you think? Should Stephanie White remain the Fever's head coach, or has the relationship with the fan base gone too far? Drop your honest opinion in the comments, hit subscribe for more WNBA news, reactions, and controversy, and stay tuned for the next update. Fire basketball.